Robert Kujo, the president of SWAG, the patron of SWAG, and the chairman of the Sports Council Board. Ladies and gentlemen, members of SWAG, this is my privilege today to be given this honor to give the welcome address. This was just trust on me as I got here. So I hope you'll bear with me. It is all too soon. You know, only last year, was it last year that we were here? So time flies so fast. And then I'm being told that SWAG will be 50 years this year. Wow, we've come a long way. And the awards ceremony will be in its 43rd year, which is something that we must celebrate. I think that this is a special occasion, and I hope our sponsors will give us a big deal for this year, because for some period now we have been receiving a certain amount. This year we hope they will double it because it's a special year. Of course, the SWAG Awards is something special, because when we started, I remember at the Ambassador Hotel, we had to go out there and treat people to come and join us, because at that time nobody knew about anything like that, and it was something strange. But we have persevered, and thanks to everybody that's been involved in the SWAG activities, we are still doing the SWAG Awards, and in its 43rd year, you can't beat that one. There's no award in this country that can beat it. It's a SWAG expression. So as I welcome you to today's function, I hope that we are going to hear some very good news, first from our sponsors, and then our president will also give us the good news about how we are preparing to have this function this year, so that our guests who will be coming will not only enjoy themselves, but nobody will go out there and complain that the food was too small. Because I think I'm being told that the last time around, after the function, some people were on radio somewhere accusing the SWAG of serving them. They invited them to the place, and the food they had was just too small. I hope our president will ensure that this time nothing like that happens. And it all depends, to a great extent, on our sponsors. I'm sending a strong message to our sponsors that they should do something before they die. On that note, I have the privilege to welcome you to this function, and may God see us through everything. Thank you very much.
The president of SWAG, patrons and members of SWAG, and its executives, representatives from Activa, CDH, and GOIL, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we warmly welcome the patrons, executives, and members of SWAG to MTN House today. On behalf of the CEO and the Executive Committee of MTN, we wish to congratulate you, distinguished sports writers, for your foresight in planning to celebrate our national heroes in sports. As a business, we are enthused by the fact that SWAG is able to produce a list of nominees for the awards immediately after commencing the new year. This shows how keenly you follow events in the sports sector to choose persons who deserve commendation. Sports is one of the main channels through which Ghana is made visible to the world. Thus, we encourage SWAG not to relent but continue to use this medium to promote the development of sports in Ghana. As we prepare towards this year's event, we urge the organizers to put in more effort towards enhancing the implementation and the general outlook of the program. Also, we would like to challenge SWAG to come up with innovative ideas that will align with our digital agenda. The key thing here is that we need to generate more interests around the awards. As an association of media persons, it will be a great idea to use your platforms to review performances of the nominees and generate more discussions on the event. This, I believe, will help project the nominees more and bring them into the limelight, and also cause the nation to appreciate their contributions. MTN urges you to utilize the many sports shows on air and social media space or platforms to highlight the profile of your nominees in line with international best practice. Having said this, I would like to use this platform to congratulate SWAG and encourage corporate Ghana to support the association as it prepares towards honoring the nation's sports heroes. We wish SWAG the very best in your endeavors. Thank you.
That had Supporters Union. I'm always excited when I see Honorable Joe Aggrey around. He was the one most singular personality who inspired me to become the president of SWAG. And the reason was very simple. All my life, I've tried very hard to become a minister of state. It's been very difficult. And when he became the president of SWAG, not long after, he became a minister of state. So I decided, once you want to become a minister of state, the surest way to become a SWAG president. So you have to pray for me, because I want to become a minister of state. But I want finance ministry for 1 month. The acting corporate services executive of MTN, Mr. Robert Kuzoe, our venerable patrons, board chairman of the National Sports Authority, colleague members of SWAG, diehard Supporters Union, obviously the best. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, 42 years ago, when our progenitors organized the first ever SWAG Award night, little did we know that they were initiating a movement that would only become the most transcendent and distinguished of all award ceremonies in Ghana, but the most enduring. 43 years on, it's enormously inspiring and edifying that we blaze the trail as we set off to honor our deserving sportsmen and women for the 27th calendar year. We have scheduled this year's event for April 28, by which time our gallant men and women who will have returned from the 2018 Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast, Australia. It's unclear when renovation works at our regular venue, that is the Banquet Hall State House, would be completed. But in the unlikely event of any delay, we shall announce a new venue. This year, SWAG will honor our heroes and heroines from 49 nominees, including individuals and institutions in 21 categories, drawn from 18 sporting disciplines. The most prestigious category, the Sports Personality of the Year, will however be announced on the night of the event. And let me just mention a few of the nominees. For the Footballer of the Year, we have Daniel Niaje of TP Mazembe, Thomas Partey of Atletico Madrid, Christian Achu of Newcastle, England, and Richard Boachiyadom, Restal Belgrade, Serbia. That is the Footballer of the Year international. But on the local scene, we have Thomas Abe of Hearts of Oak, Amos Frimpong of Santi Kotoko, and Stephen Safu of Brecum, Chelsea. And the Female Footballer of the Year, we have Priscilla Dubia and Pimtakwa ladies, Priscilla Ochre, and Pimtakwa again, and Ruth Apia, lady strikers. For the Professional Boxer of the Year, we have Isaac Dogwe, the WBO interim super bantamweight champion, Duke Maika, who is a WBC international bantamweight champion. And the National Team of the Year, we have local Black Stars, the Black Stakes, and the Golden Arms. I'm not going to waste too much of your time. We'll make the detailed list available to the media. But quickly, let me say that we have some very, very interesting awards coming up. And we have special awards to Dr. Kojo Benjamin Taylor of Sanford, Alexa Santi of the Ghana Football Association, and Dr. Kedi Asante, as well as Dr. Parkwesi Doom and Dr. Martin Engman. We have had preliminary discussion with the lieutenants of newly crowned Liberian President, His Excellency George Oponwea, to be our special guest of honor after our own President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo gracefully shared the stage with us last year. The talks are ongoing, but we hope to have a closure to the discussion in the coming days. And hopefully, in a week's time or two, I would personally fly over to Liberia to see what comes out of the talk. As always, we're eternally indebted to MTN for helping us live the dream with their unalloyed support over the years. It ought to be axiomatic and apodictic that without MTN, the much talked about Swag Awards night wouldn't be what it is today. The marriage will be in the 7th year, that's 8th year today, I should say, and it's for better for worse, till death do us part. And what MTN and Swag have put together, no man shall put asunder. There was an enhancement of MTN support for us last year, and there's a firm belief of further stimulation this year, details of which will be announced in due course. I crave your indulgence to recognize the efforts of our other partners, Activa International Insurance, Gold, Unibank, CDH Holdings, Slambridge Ghana, Santa Baron, Star Times, and other individuals and corporate bodies who continue to aid our efforts each year. God willing, we expect another resplendent evening to demonstrate our obeisance and deference to our tireless sportsmen and women who continue to glow under strenuous conditions. And because this is our 50th year, we'll roll out a program that will be befitting to our existence as an association of 50 years. On that note, I respectfully declare the 2017 MTN Swag Awards night duly launched. Thank you very much.
Partner MTN, President of Swag, Mr. Joe Aggrey and Madam Gifty. I'm very privileged to stand here to give few remarks of this event. I thank MTN for the support that they've offered Ghana and Ghana sports as a whole, and for Swag till now. I think if all corporate bodies will step in the foot as you've started, Ghana sports development will be aiming towards where we all dream for it to be. Sports, as we see it now, has been a tool for development and job creation. Just last Saturday, I was privileged to witness skate soccer, a discipline that a young man has started, that he's picking people from the streets, those disabled people who were begging, and he has unearthed talent in them, and other corporate bodies have put money to eradicate them from the streets and give them employment. And I think this is what we are all aiming and telling the corporate world, that there is a sport that when you want to identify and make your money responsible and make your investment responsible, that is sports. We have a lot of disciplines that can be displayed for sponsorships. Sports has a lot of platforms that we can all look at and put money in them. So as part of their corporate responsibilities, we will urge other corporate entities, as MTN has been doing, to also take a second look at sports development. Just last year, get to the closing part of the last year, I've seen an upbringing of other disciplines, other federations like Ghana Arm Wrestling and other sporting disciplines that are also coming up. We need to push them and make sure that they succeed. And if they succeed, it becomes an employment for the youth who after school, some of them are left out there without any job. We all came out from school with another talent or the other, but nurturing them and developing them becomes a problem, and it all comes with investment. So we thank MTN for what you've done, and just as President said, we think you can do more and do more. Look at other sporting events as well, and we advise that corporate bodies should also look at the awards categorizations. If each corporate body can pick up one discipline, one award, and sponsor it, I think it can take off some of your burden of swag and make the ceremony a very successful and attractive one. Thank you very, very much.